All right. Can y'all hear me, man? Because this is new for me. I'm on my phone and I don't even see where. Let's see. Good morning. I do see that. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. You can hear me? Yes. Good. Wow. I thought I was having internet problems, so I checked with Infinity last night, and I didn't blow a temper. I mean, I didn't get indignant. I kind of let them know how I really feel. Good morning, Ms. Mullins. And then I found out it wasn't them, it's my laptop. And I had to apologize to the lady. She was so nice. Yeah. I always had problems with Infinity, so I just figured it was them. It wasn't. It's my laptop. So good morning, Miss Graham, Miss Davis. This is pretty cool. Miss Brown on my phone. I think only iPhones can do this. I still feel like y'all don't hear me or something. Oh my God, all these drop downs gonna come down on my phone now while I'm talking to you guys. All right, let's get going here. Going through my notes. And, I literally don't know who I took these notes from, but I do really kind of vibe with these notes here because, and I probably talked to you guys before about this, mind-body opposition. You hear me? Okay. Y'all familiar with the mind-body opposition? Did I talked about that, right? So let me give an example. Let's say you woke up this morning, which you did because you're on here, right? And you're thinking positive. So you woke up, said your affirmations, but you still feeling negative. Even though you said your affirmations, you know how you do that? Like you can read your affirmations and you still feel like, man, this ain't right. Something ain't, I still don't feel good about my life and my situation. Even though you've done the affirmations and you still feeling negative and like insecure and guilty and unworthy about things, that's a self-esteem issue. But the problem is it's also a mind and body opposition. Because remember, the subconscious is good friends to the body, right? So it runs and tells the body everything. And when we don't literally feel the way we want to feel, even though we're doing our affirmations, even though we're saying the things we want to say, because a lot of times we do feel that way, but sometimes we don't. We wake up and we let life take over sometimes. We might not even be doing the affirmation. We just let life take over. I tell you what, if you wake up and grab your phone and start looking and scrolling, you're going to let life take over. You have to wake up and kind of just start with the prayer, start with the meditation, start doing the things that you know you should be doing, because if not, that mind and body opposition is awful. You're trying to figure out why you feel this way, and you really feeling the real thoughts that you're really thinking, even though you're saying positive things. Even though you're saying positive stuff, you still feeling that way. So now, you can only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts that are equal to your emotional state. Say it again. You can only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts that are equal to your emotional state. And you will not believe and surrender and accept, as it says here, any thoughts that are not equal to that emotional state. So it does not matter how positive a person is in their conscious mind, because remember, the subconscious mind is what feeds us, and how positive your thoughts are. If you still feeling negative and guilty, and that's the challenge that we have. We still feel that way because it takes a while for us to get out of that situation. We have to say this stuff over and over and over and listen to it over and over and over and just keep saying and doing it, keep saying and doing it. And when I say keep, we're talking about some people, you know, it might be, I don't know, 6 months, but some people might be 5 years, 3 years or 4 years. We don't know how deep that programming is. And I always say this, and been saying it. When you do something outside the box, most of the time, eventually we can win if we don't quit. But we quit before that happens because we still feeling these feelings, and you're like, dang, this ain't working for me. You know, this ain't, and it takes a minute, because think about it. How long did it take for you to, good morning, Ms. Driscoll. How long did it take for you to get to that point? See, we don't think about that. We don't think about all the years of what we heard, and we think that we should just jump out here. Now, this only happens most of the time when you're thinking outside the box, meaning that you started a new business or you trying to do something different and you doing something that's not in the status quo. Then we start feeling that way, because if we doing our normal status quo stuff and we don't have to stretch, we don't have to sacrifice, we don't have to believe, we just get up and drive to work or whatever, we're not going to feel this way. But when you start trying to recruit, you're doing stuff outside of the norm, people are saying negative stuff to you, then we start feeling that way. It's like, oh, that's why it's easy for people to quit and go back to that norm of just hanging around their buddies, you know, playing cards and doing all this, and you don't have to stretch. You don't have to. That's a easier feeling. I mean, it's an easier way to do business. I mean, do things. You ain't doing business, but it also is not going to get you where you want to go. And you also, especially when you get a little, it's like if anybody's been on these this private club for 2 months, 3 months, and you stop it and you go back to just doing what you're doing, it's going to drive you crazy. It's going to bother you. If you only stayed on here a couple of days, it's not. But if you've been on here for a while and you got that information, when you go back to the status quo, going back to be quote unquote normal, and you just sitting there flipping the channel, it's going to bother you, because all this stuff is going to come to you. The books and stuff going to come to you. And you can be thinking, I need to do something. But the hardest part is trying to make that work. Good morning, Ms. Wallace. Because you feeling insecure. You feeling negative. And I don't care how long you're doing them affirmations, you're thinking, this ain't going to work for me. But it is if we keep going. Well, Tony, you know, I kept going. How long I got to keep going? I don't know. I don't. My partner used to say, my mentor used to say, when does it become foolishness? When does doing the business or doing anything outside the box become foolishness? And he said, when you quit. When you quit. And I'm talking about quit on your dreams and goals. I'm not talking about quit on a particular, I don't know, a company or something. But your goals and dreams should be above the company. Your goals and dreams should be like my goals and dreams were always to take care of my mother. So if I didn't get it one way, I got it another. It was always that target. But that negativity and that insecure and all that, that's not going to go away as fast as we think it will. And again, you're not going to really feel a lot of it until you start attempting to do something that's outside the norm. Like the people who don't do these businesses and try things and all that, they don't have a lot of sleepless nights. They don't have a lot of things in their head turning. They don't have a lot because they're not stretching. It's not like they're not. So as the person inside turn to, like, as we say the affirmations more and more and more, as we change into a new environment, as we start thinking about all the stuff we're receiving, then we start having on the inside more gratitude. We start having gratitude. We start having appreciation, thankfulness. And the guilt and shame and insecurity starts to slowly move away. Some of it is still there. Some of it's still there, but it's not like it was. It's not like it was. The fear starts slowly moving away. And I can't tell you when that's going to happen for you. You know, I don't even remember when it happened for me because I was just doing so much reading and doing so much. And what's funny about it, again, I keep repeating this. If you never got into a business like this, and you never got on a conference call, on a Zoom like this, or training like this, even conference calls, you don't start feeling the things that you feel because you're not feeling pressure to stretch. You're not feeling pressure to grow. So that comes with the territory. You know, I remember somebody saying, if I knew how much work I had to put in myself to change when I got started, I might not have ever done it. Because it's a whole revamping of yourself. It's a revamping of all your thoughts and everything. When you go into another level outside of the box. Study a person. You can't do it though, but imagine if you had, this would be legal, but say you had a camera in my house or somebody else's house. And besides all other stuff that you shouldn't be looking at, but watching my behavior, you will understand my beliefs and my perceptions about myself by watching my behavior. If you had a camera in the house, because what you're going to see is me doing everything I can to win in life and business because I believe I can. I'll be on the phone. I'll be on the laptop. I'll be calling. I'll be talking to people. I'm doing all I can. The TV won't be on. You'll see that I really believe in what I'm doing and myself, not even what I'm doing, but myself. And I believe that I can reach the goals I got on the wall because you see me doing that. Now, if I had a camera in your house, then I would know how you really feel. I would know your behavior. I would know if you really feel the way you feel, because the people who don't, guess what you're doing? Every other thing besides trying to do business. You know why? Because you don't believe you can do it. So you're not really doing it. You know it. That's why I say, it ain't really what you say and all that. Is when you walk in that door lock that door, go into your bedroom or whatever, walk in that bathroom and look at yourself. That's, and what's said then, that's who you really are. That's your belief. Not saying it can't change. That's, if you had the affirmations on your mirror there, you got them written on the mirror, and you start saying them and keep saying them, you could change. But if not, you know who you really are. You can go out here and say everything you want to say. But that guilt, insecurity, the low self-esteem will really be there. And that's mind-body opposition, because you're not really, it's like you feeling one way and walking the other. So it says here, thoughts and feelings create attitudes. Attitudes create beliefs, and beliefs create perceptions. And we say about, what's the quote about perceptions? I forgot, I just went blank. Something about you are what you, perception is reality. Perception is reality. Because in most people's mind, what you see, you believe is reality. So perception is reality. That's why, you see a lot of fake stuff on social media. A lot of people believe it because it's perceived to be true. But social media is just like doing a movie. When your line is over with and the other line say cut, it is over with. Or you ever seen, like, in the movie, these beautiful homes, but if you on the set, when you walk in the door, ain't nothing behind that but a brick wall. But we looking at it like houses. No, ain't nothing behind there. It's the same with us. Ain't nothing behind us like that. Nothing to support a lot of stuff that we're saying. So, but we get caught up with some of that stuff. And what studies show that we actually see with our brain, not our eyes. We actually see. So brain is what sees, and it sees what it used to. That's why we judge people on what we're used to. Y'all get that? So even when new people come around that may be doing something totally different, but we used to seeing a certain thing, we used to hearing a certain thing, that's how we judge them. Even though they're bringing new conversation, new things, we see and hear things on what we used to hear. There's a story, I don't know how true it is, because it just be something they made up, that these people had grew up on an island and they never left the island. And the story is that they never left the island, never saw anything else in their whole life but that island. And the story is that a boat came by and they never saw it. Because they never saw it. They never saw a boat before. They didn't even know what to see. So even when it came by them, they didn't know what they didn't see it. Because they've never seen it. Y'all get that? Y'all really? I mean, really. We see things in our brain on what we used to seeing. until we start changing it and going into it, and that's why you have to redo almost everything. You get that, Ms. Dyer? Thank you. Thank you. I get it. So it says, which means we have beliefs and perceptions about ourselves that we don't even know that program is running. We don't even know it. It's like a computer program behind the scenes of our awareness. It says, what happens when a lot of programs open on our computer? So what they're saying is that it blocks our belief. So the key is repetition again. Every day, we got to keep feeding our mind something that we're not used to until we become used to it. We got to keep feeding what we're not used to until we become used to it. And that's being positive, that's being successful, that's positive affirmations, that's the trading every single day doing till we become used to it. And it's like our life. But that comes with repetition. When you make what you do a part of you, which a lot of people don't want, the companies I've been in the past and the training we've done, that a lot of people, they'll start telling you that you just, this thing is just controlling your life. These upside down Christmas trees you're doing, they're just controlling your life. Where's God in your life? Are you leaving God out? I'm like, what God in your life? You ain't. What God in your life? All you do is say that. That's all you do is say it. What God in your life? You leaving God out of your life? No. The time, everything that I'm doing when it comes to my business, you doing that same amount of time when it comes to TV shows. Well, God with that. Because I know the stuff you watching, God ain't definitely in that. There ain't nothing out there on television, on cable, it's nothing out there that has God in it. None of them shows, none of that stuff that we watching out here. That's just hate that people are afraid to see you growing. People are afraid that you might lead them. People are afraid that you're doing something more productive. And so, that's our culture at least, that's our only excuse that we have. That's for our culture. We're going to say that quickly. So, wow, short today. So the thing today is same thing we've been talking about is repetition is key. So we have to keep saying stuff over and over and over. We got to change the environment. We got to let that environment become us so much that is in us, so much that our brain sees that as us. And, we become that. We become what you think about. You become what you think about as a man thinking. See, that term and those words and all that is kind of like cliche-ish to us. We'll just say it as a man thinking, and you'll become. But do we really understand that it has to be a part of our life? It has to be. We have to carry that with us at all times. We have to monitor our words. We have to do everything at all times. It don't take all that. It got y'all doing all that stuff. It don't take all that. Yes, it does. It takes all that and more. Because who we are today, it took all of that. For all our thoughts that we have today, everything that we do, it took all of that. Took years for us hearing these, negative stuff for us to be negative. It took years for us, to be programmed. It took years. We just didn't realize we were being programmed, so we wouldn't count the time like we count now. We like, oh, how long is it gonna take? We didn't think about that when we was starting from the first grade on. We were being programmed. We didn't think about how long that's gonna take. Now to reverse it, that's what we're thinking about. So repetition is key. We got to say it over and over when we wake up in the morning. We got to keep, because if not, that mind and body opposition is gonna kick in. But we just got to keep going, man. I have to fight that every day. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. See, when I call Xfinity, because what's been programmed in my head for years with Xfinity is that they ain't acting right. They ain't doing right. So I automatically assumed it was their service and not my laptop, because they've been doing that way. So I called them. I'm like, hey, sir, we checked everything. I'm like, yeah, you always say that. You always say that. That's a part of your script. So, all right, hope y'all got that today. Where are you? Is all she wrote. They're like, you over it already? Pen. As she is. I think you be falling asleep on me, Miss Fredericks. I think you she over there nodding out on me. There you go. No, I'm not asleep. Okay. You're taking notes. That's what you're doing. You were taking notes. And all right. I'm out of here, folks. From my phone today. Yes, you are. Okay, good. Pencil is gone. Peace.